Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another prediction video for this week's up-and-coming episode of The Walking Dead. This is Season 7, Episode 12, entitled Say Yes. Now, as always, everybody, my reviews and predictions, they always contain spoilers for previous episodes of The Walking Dead and, hey, possibly the next and upcoming episode. Who knows? I might get something right. So, with that being said, just that's a warning, okay? Now, Season 7, Episode 12, entitled Say Yes. The synopsis is as follows, and of course you can follow along on AMC.com. I'll leave a link down in the description below. The synopsis for this episode is Alexandrians scavenge for supplies, and that is all we have, everybody. That is all we got for a synopsis. Alexandrians scavenge for supplies. So from that synopsis, right off the bat, we can gather that we're obviously back with Rick and the group, okay? Alexandrians. It's no longer going to be like a savior-centric episode like last episode, so that's kind of a relief, It was definitely a nice break last episode, but I'm happy to get back to Rick and everybody like that now. And of course, we know they are trying to find guns so they can provide them to the scavengers so that the scavengers will join their fight, okay? Plus, they need guns anyways to actually fight back against Negan in the first place. So with that being said, that's what they're doing, okay? Now, what I can gather from the promos and the sneak peek here is that it's going to be basically on two different type of groups, okay? What I gather, Rick and Michonne is going out on a run, and they actually end up at a carnival, which is pretty exciting. I actually am really excited to see them at a carnival. It's some sort of a fair type carnival thing. There is it looks like booths and stuff around. It just looks like a fun time, but then it kind of looks like death, you know what I mean, at the same time, because it's in a zombie apocalypse. It is what it is. But either way, it's Rick and Michonne. They're off on their own, okay? And they're scavenging, obviously, for supplies, mainly guns. And in the sneak peek, they actually come across a gun that's on a walker. Rick bangs his axe or his hatchet, whatever you want to call it, against a fence, against the compound. And a walker basically walks along the backside of a curtain or cloth, and you can actually see like a silhouette, a shadow of the walker. And Rick is the entire time pointing at the gun on his back, which is definitely interesting. So they have a rifle now. They definitely found one gun. We can gather that from the sneak peek. And that's basically it for that sneak peek. It was very brief, but I mean, it essentially entailed, them saying, those types of guns, that's what we're out here for. That's what we're out here for. We need these types of guns no matter what to fight back against Negan, obviously. And they actually ended up going inside of the compound, and they actually found some 5.56, and I'm sure 7.62 there as well. But either way, there were serious rounds, is what Rick called them, and he basically said, if these were here, if something bad happened a long time ago, like Michonne quoted, maybe there's still some serious weapons here. And that's definitely exciting, you know what I mean? They need weapons. Hopefully, they strike gold. Now, as for Rosita, which is the other person I was talking about, the one that it really seems to be focusing on, I'm sure there's going to be other members of the group on this episode as well. But again, it really seems to be Rosita and Tara, maybe Tara. Tara was in the sneak peek with her, but I'm sure it focuses on Rosita a little more. And then, like I said, Rick and Michonne as well. So I'm sure there's going to be other characters on this episode, but I think those are the main two that this episode is going to be focusing on, because they're the ones really running and gunning to try to get those guns, right? So, plus it says Alexandrians scavenge for supplies, so there's probably more, you know what I mean? Either way, though, Rosita is basically, in this sneak peek, she is sewing up her cut on her cheek that she got from when she attacked Negan. Back in episode 8, she's actually sewing that up. Tara approached her and basically was like, I came over here right now to actually do that for you. She explains that Denise actually taught her how, and she wanted to help Rosita. Rosita's still sort of hurt right now. She's in a very bitchy mood, to say the least. All she wants to do is get out there and find guns. She wants this war to happen already. She wants to get revenge, especially for Abraham, I think. And, of course, she wants to rescue Eugene as well. I think he's very important to her no matter what. And, she feels like she's done something wrong, and she's blaming herself constantly. And there's always this pity about her, in a way, But at the same time, she's also badass, And she basically explains to Tara, I know that this war is not going to happen without guns. We need guns, but I don't want to just sit here and wait. I can't. And then she basically gets up and leaves, presumably to go on a run to maybe find guns, which in the promo, it looks like she's out and about. Maybe she runs into a walker. It's kind of cut that way, but I'm thinking that she runs into a walker. She kind of has like a shocked face, so maybe it's a special type of walker. Maybe that would be cool, or maybe she runs into some saviors. Who knows? But either way, it's definitely going to be interesting seeing if she goes out on her own or who she comes across. It's definitely going to be interesting. But either way, she does look shocked at one point in the promo, and I'm kind of iffy about that. She's coming up on this building or, something, a warehouse maybe, and, maybe she's going to look there for supplies. She looks to be approaching it, and then that's when she has that shocked face like she's seen something. So I'm not really sure what's going to go on there, but I'm definitely excited to see. All right, so as for the rest of the promo, it really seems kind of what we've already seen in some promos coming up for this half of the season, where Michonne and Rick are actually in like a white van. They're driving down the road. Michonne says, we should get back. We should head home. Rick says, in a little bit, just a little longer. And that's when they presumably find this carnival or fair, whatever is going on here. They come across it, and it's definitely interesting because they kind of have an overlook of it. And then we get to see them sort of get surrounded by zombies in the van. They end up jumping from the roof of the van over like a little fenced-in area, presumably, again, like the safety guardrails for the carnival or the fair, whatever you want to call it. But it looks really cool because we haven't seen a carnival before in The Walking Dead, and that's something that I'm really looking forward to. And it looks like they went all out because, there's scenes of Rick and Michonne running away from walkers. Rick's actually climbing up like a Ferris wheel, trying to get away from some walkers that are grabbing at his feet, which is just badass, might I add. There's also a really cool scene. It looks like Rick's sort of in trouble, maybe getting attacked by walkers or something, and he actually is diving for his gun in the grass. And he dives, it looks like he's about to turn around and shoot something, so maybe something was chasing him, maybe something was almost getting him. It also looks near the end of the promo that Michonne and Rick are also clearing out another house or some sort of a building. They open the door, Rick points his gun, Michonne obviously there with her sword. And again, it all looks badass. It really does. I'm really excited for this carnival scene, and I'm really excited to see what's going to happen in the way of gathering supplies, scavenging for supplies. It's going to be interesting because, we all have to wonder, Is Tara eventually going to tell Rick and the group, the Alexandrians, about the Oceanside community? Now, in that promo, or in that sneak peek rather, with Rosita and Tara, it sort of gave us another hint that she might actually do it. Because, Rosita was like, well, we have to find guns. We have to fight back against them. And Tara says, we will. This is what we're going to do. We will fight back against them. We just need to find guns. And Rosita points out, do you know anywhere that we can find guns in a couple of days, in a week, in a month, in a year? No, exactly. And then that's when she kind of walks off and storms off and tries to do her own thing. But Tara does know where she can find guns, and that's obviously at the Oceanside community. So I'm wondering if eventually she's going to give that secret up for the protection of the main core group there. You've got to think, it's probably crossed her mind a few hundred times at least, especially if it comes down to the wire. If they don't actually find anything on their own, she's probably going to have to be forced to, I'm not saying that she's going to want to, or even that she will, but, the pressure's probably on, pretty hard. If she knows where some guns are and she could get this situation done and out of the way just by saying, I met a community, the Oceanside, I know where some guns are. You know what I mean? I feel like she's gonna probably crack eventually, at least. But with that being said, everybody, that is it. That was my predictions for this week's episode. I'm really excited to see the carnival scenes and what's gonna happen there. Definitely excited for it. I'm, again, wondering, if anything's gonna happen with Tara and her situation. Is she gonna spill the beans, so to speak? As for anything else that happens, like I said, we're probably going to see some characters in Alexandria, but I think most likely it's going to focus probably on Rosita and Rick and Michonne, off obviously two separate groups. But either way, all right, it's definitely going to be interesting nonetheless, and I cannot wait for it. Now, another thing that's been going around is the episode title, entitled Say Yes. We're not really sure what that means, you know what I mean? There's a couple of theories going around that maybe Rick is going to propose to Michonne. That could very well be, during this run. Who knows? That could definitely happen, and that's why it could be titled Say Yes. Or there could be another really sadistic reason for it, Who knows? But either way, I think that'd be cool and interesting if you did. But I don't really think that should be on his list of priorities right now, I really don't. But With that being said, everybody, those are my predictions for this week's episode of The Walking Dead. This is Season 7, Episode 12, entitled Say Yes. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed or agreed with any of the things that I said, make sure you guys go ahead and tell me down in the comments section below. If you guys have any ideas of what you think going to happen this episode, just, again, let me know that in the comment section below as well. We'll have a little discussion down there, all right, if any of you actually post, which you probably won't, because not a lot of people ever do. Either way, though, support the crap out of me. I really would appreciate it. And check out my other videos that I've posted. I posted a Rust video yesterday, and if you guys showed that support, it would mean a lot to me. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care, everybody.